Welcome back to Tina Tilton's The Blend, where legends live. I do have tickets. Remember, you guys, always go to my website, www.tinatilton.com. I do have tickets for the First Funny Fridays Breast Cancer Awareness Edition, October 7th. That's on a Friday at the Vineyard, and it's featuring Chestnut, Chantel, and Henry Coleman. So again, tinatilton.com. Go there for your chance to register for a ticket for you and a guest. But today, right about now, I'm about to add a little funk to the show. I've got another Grammy-winning award artist that is not only a part of a superstar group, but it's also from just around the corner in Jackson, Mississippi, and that's where he's from. Let's welcome the lead singer of ConFunkShun. Here's Felton, Pilate.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, welcome to The Blend.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, you are so very welcome. I'm like, Jackson, Mississippi. But you know what? All this time, I've always felt and thought you were a native Memphian. So that's why I was like, hey, we got one of our own.
No, well, actually, the fact is, I was, although I was born in Jackson, I was raised in California. ConFunkShun moved to Memphis, and we lived there for 6 years. Between 72 and 78, that Memphis was our home.
72? Oh, that's when I was born.
Oh, okay.
So that's when you moved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But prior to that, I understand that were you like an Army brat or Navy brat?
My father was a medic in the Navy, and he moved around quite a bit. He and my mom left me to live with my grandmother at the age of 4. And at 5 years old, that's when I took my first plane flight to California.
But your mom was a music major. Is she responsible, if you will, for introducing you to music?
Actually, yes. Yeah. She a music major. So, and then there was a piano in my house for as far back as I can remember. She was classical music and voice and piano. My father loved jazz. He couldn't sing worth nothing, but he loved listening to it. And so my mom encouraged me. She gave me private piano lessons and private lessons. I taught myself to play guitar and trombone.
You taught yourself to play what? Guitar, trombone?
Guitar and trombone, yes. Yeah.
Wow. How did you do that? Did you watch the likes of someone and just pick it up?
While I was taking piano lessons from this wonderful teacher over in San Francisco, her name was Tanya Erickson. And I was fascinated by a guitar. And I asked her how many strings does a guitar have, and how do you tune it? And she told me, and I understood chords. I knew how to make a C major chord and an F major chord. And so when she told me how the strings were tuned, and she explained that to me.
Yeah.
I was able to figure out, because I knew that the frets meant each up a half step. So I was able to figure out several chords on guitar before I ever picked one up.
Wow. I commend you guys. That's all I can say. My husband is a musician, and he does and hears the same thing. And I'm just like, I have no skills in that area, but it's okay because I talk. I love doing interviews. I love asking questions. So this is a perfect format for me. But let me ask you this. You met bandmate Michael Cooper in high school in Cali, where you guys formed Project Soul, and then you moved to Memphis and changed your name from Project Soul to ConFunkShun. And I'm like, why?
To be accurate,
okay.
Michael had, we were actually playing in 2 competing bands, right? My group was called, first was called Interbreed, and then was called Second Movement. Oh. And Michael's group was Project Soul. When my band broke up, basically because the drummer was getting bad grades and his father pulled him out the band.
Oh, okay.
Mike showed up at my door. Hey, man, I heard the group broke up, man. Would you consider playing with us? I'm like, yeah, that'll work. These guys were really good. When we moved to Memphis, we were able to sign a deal with Freetone Records. Freetone Records was started by Estelle Axton, and years ago, she and her brother Jim Stewart started a record company there in Memphis. And to name it, they took the last two letters of his name and first two letters of his last name, first two letters of her last name. So, and so they came over. That's how they came over with Stax.
Stax, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So while we were signed to their label, they were telling us that recommending that we should change our name because they were concerned about the word soul in the name. So we argued about it, and we finally settled on the name ConFunkShun because that's the name of a song by the group The Night Actors, who were the backup band for New Birth. We had heard them play it years before, and that was the only thing we could decide on. So the funny thing is that they were concerned about the word soul in our name, but we're okay with the word funk. Go figure.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Right.
Well, that's definitely a legendary name that all the world knows to this day. So, hey, ConFunkShun it is, ConFunkShun it was, ConFunkShun it is. But I understand also that the music industry has been your only income since my year of birth, since '92.
I have been
commendable.
Very blessed, very blessed with that. And so, yeah, since ConFunkShun left to go be the backup band for the Stax recording artist, the Soul Children, that has been my only income. So I've been very blessed with that.
Yes, that is worthy of praise. Now let's talk about you and Hammer. You and Hammer have a long, successful history. Tell me how it all started, because in my mind, I'm like, ConFunkShun, funk, Hammer, this whole energetic type of guy. How in the world did that start? I mean, you guys, let's get it started. And please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Too legit to quit. Inside Out. How did all of that start?
I had after I had left ConFunkShun back in 1986, I opened up a recording studio and went into writing and producing full time. I was doing some what I'm going to call ghost producing for a gentleman named Fred Pippin, who would hire me to do musical arrangements, but I'd wind up producing the project. He introduced me to these gentlemen who called themselves the Holy Ghost Boys, and Stanley Burrell was one of them. I talked him into recording it at my studio, and my second engineer, a very talented young man named James Early, and I did all the tracks. And for the first album, Feel My Power, let's get it started. He literally bought me out of my studio and took James and myself out on the road with him to work with him exclusively. We set up a recording studio inside. We set up a recording studio inside the bus, and that's how we wound up producing Can't Touch This, the whole album on a bus. On a tour bus. We took a 16-track reel to reel. 16 track reel to reel, and recorded the entire recorded the entire project on the back of the bus. Sold a little over 40-50 million copies at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you guys see that? Like, did you feel it? Because I know you musicians, you guys have a sensation that, like, oh boy, this is it. This is gonna be a hit. This is what's gonna, propel us to higher ground. What did you feel?
We actually already had that vibe from the previous album, Let's Get Started, which is huge. And since we recorded that album while we were out on tour, I mean, literally after the concerts, we would go out to the parking lot of whatever hotel that we were staying at to record the vocals and stuff for the project. So all of that happened on the coattails of that energy.
Oh, I see.
So, we were already feeling that vibe that, the Hammerhead was going to be a huge success. And when we recorded that album, it was just a continuation of the same vibe, plus all that energy that we have from the stage. I wound up also being his music director on stage for the You Can't Touch This tour. So that was fun, and that was an interesting transition for me because coming from a very musical background, classical music and jazz, diving into rap and hip hop was like,
right.
I used to joke around and say that apparently the winning combination working with Hammer was to turn what he brought me into something I felt comfortable listening to. So it worked.
It worked. Well, hey,
later,
billions and billions of records and dollars later, it worked. But now another successful group has come along and decided to redo Love Train. How did that come about? I'm just like, I'm just wondering, want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
That was a total surprise. On Valentine's Day, earlier this year, I wake up and there's a text message waiting for me from Michael. And yeah, man, have you heard this? I'm like, heard what? He sends me a text and I listen. So I'm listening to it, and for half the song, I'm like speechless. All these guys have killed it. Oh my guys, and it sounds great. Which just adds to the fact that I was a Bruno Mars fan since he put out Grenade.
I remember.
To be honest, I was not familiar with Anderson .Paak at all until I was familiar with Silk Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've gone back, I'm a new fan of his. I love his vibe and
so do I.
But that was a total surprise. But so glad it happened. Michael and I had a chance to fly out to Las Vegas and meet them personally and to thank them for recording the song. Really nice guys. Bruno,
I see you smiling.
We were sitting in a waiting room, waiting for them to come in. When Bruno walked in, he busted up and he said, "Oh man!" And he dropped to his knees and started. If I chance, you love it.
Yeah.
And really nice guys.
That is so good. I'm so grateful to see, as they say, the new school bringing back the classics. I mean, because that is one of the songs that I can recall being a little girl, being a little girl at that time, and enjoying it with my mom. And now I have a 6-year-old. I have a 6 and a 7-year-old daughter, and we're all now enjoying the song, but yet from another artist. So it's just, man, thank you. That's all I can say.
A friend of mine told me that her daughter came into the room and was right after hearing our ConFunkShun version of it.
Yes.
And she came to running, bringing her phone to Mom. Mommy, look, someone's copied Bruno Mars' song.
Go figure.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, you've produced other artists in other genres of music, country, rock, gospel, and what's your favorite?
Oh man, my favorite. Well, that's an interesting question because my favorite to listen to is not what my favorite to write. When I'm listening to it,
different beats.
When I'm smooth jazz or old school. I'm still a Stylistics, Isley Brothers, kind of fan. Or smooth jazz, like a big Brian Culbertson. But when I sit down and write, it's
You can write a little country, you can write a little rock, you can write a little gospel.
That's true, because I grew up appreciating a whole bunch of different kinds of music. So I've played a lot of and had a chance to work with a lot of.
Sure, sure. Well, this segment is what I call the uncommon question segment.
Yeah.
It's not anything crazy, lewd, or anything like that. It's just uncommon. So my question for you today is, since music has been your only income since 1972, the year of my birth, if you had to pick a regular job, what would that job be? Like, what would your second love be?
Okay.
Outside of music.
Outside of music was supposed to be my backup. I was going to be a theater major.
Ah, you act? You do drama?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Have you been on anything? And if so, what? I don't know.
No, ConFunkShun is completely tied up my time since 1972.
Oh, Lord, Mr. Pilate, Felton, we got to get you on TV and do a soap opera or something.
Oh, HABU.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Hook a
brother up.
Okay.
That is a done deal here, especially, I mean, if and when you're near Memphis, there are so many, I can think of two right now, movie production companies that are doing some things here around town. So yeah, I'm gonna tell them about you. You need to be in some.
Give me that personal guided tour. Yeah, make this work.
Yeah, as they say, you ought to be in pictures. You should be. So music is your second, theater was your first love.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, now you made some solo hits for yourself during COVID. Tell me about that.
Oh wow! The first one was a song called "We're Still Here," which was basically a thank you for the fact that literally I'm still here and able to work and do what I do what I love and get paid for it. You know. The second song was called "Waiting Just to Dance," and that was like in the middle of the COVID thing. And the "Waiting Just to Dance" was just a euphemism or a metaphor for just waiting to get back outside, back to normal. You know?
Yeah. I believe many of us felt like that mid-2020. I don't know, maybe 2020 we were still afraid. 2021, definitely waiting to get out.
Right.
Waiting to dance, just to dance. Just to take that mask off too. Like, can we breathe normally without this covering? It's abnormal for us, but okay. And when I saw that, I said, wow, and because these songs have charted as well.
Yes,
that you wrote during COVID.
Mm-hmm. They did very well internationally. You know.
Yeah.
Which is what's happening with my latest single. It's doing well internationally. We haven't done a big push for here in the United States yet. It is getting some play here in the United States, but a lot of acceptance overseas.
Well, I understand that your second album will be released this fall, so perhaps we're gonna push harder on that. But what's the title of that?
I haven't named it yet. As a matter of fact, I've recorded 20 songs. I have to actually take 5 off. And I'm gonna name the album after one of the songs, so I don't want to name it something and then wind up taking the song off. You know?
Okay.
So we're still working on it.
Still working on it. Okay. Well, whatever it is, Memphis, we need to definitely be in support of our shucks. I could almost say our brother, because again, I totally feel like when I think of you and ConFunkShun, I think of Kurt Clayton and just everyone y'all from here. Y'all, it's like, as you heard me, y'all are from here. So we embrace you as our own. I'm very, very serious. And thank you. Just hold tight a second. Remember to go to my website, TinaTilton.com, and register to win tickets to the Funny First Friday Breast Cancer Awareness Edition, Friday, October 7th at the venue. Chestnut, Chantel, Henry Coleman. Doors open at 6. The show starts at 8, and you can always purchase them by calling 901-707-0217. Thank you again, Felton, for being a guest right here. And thank you for being a guest right here on The Blend. Memphis, support the project, support Felton, Pilate, and any endeavors. And if there are any movie producers that are watching, make sure that you hire this man, because that was his first love at first. Okay, very first. We got to get them in theaters. We got to get them in pictures.
Yes, please.
Oh gosh. But again, thank you again for being on the blend. And I'm going to let you go now. Enjoy your day. Have a great day.
You too.
Sure. And thank you for watching. And remember, if you have ever wanted your own podcast or TV show, then the Podcast Center is your place. We offer a quiet production space for you to record your audio and your video podcasts. And we can also broadcast your podcast on Comcast. 901-468-3097, or you can contact me at my website, www.tinatilton.com. Until tomorrow. Did I say tomorrow? Yeah, I did say tomorrow. I do have someone to interview tomorrow. Until tomorrow, you guys. Bye-bye.